PharmaVentures, experts in deals and alliances.
Innovation is key to the development of new medicines and new drugs, but it's important that the right infrastructure is in place so that the resources are available for those innovators and all the other stakeholders. With me today is Chris Molloy, the CEO of the Medicines Discovery Catapult.
Correct.
Chris, welcome to the show. You're going to tell us a little bit about that infrastructural integrity that we need in order to make a success out of the discovery part of medicines.
Very happy to. The Medicines Discovery Catapult, like the Fraunhofer Institutes upon which the catapults are based, are there to provide facilities and expertise to enable a community to come together around shared problems, where no one stakeholder can or probably could understand the solution or provide the solution on behalf of the entire group.
So you have a broad remit across a number of different capabilities, if you like. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're serving the community that's very much recognised here by biotech and money, which is from target validation to clinical proof of concept. So that is from the idea through to the proof that you have a medicine. Now there are hundreds of disciplines involved through that process, and they are science, technology, regulatory, and many-fold. The important thing that we are going to do is to provide that disparate community, that multi-party community, with a waterhole of facilities and expertise and resources and financing to come around the table and help one another put the patient first in discovery.
So how did you identify that there was actually this need there, that there was a gap in the market for this?
Well, the market and the industry over the last few years has changed radically. From the days when everything was done behind the big walls of pharma, to when a certain amount of biotech was generated by pharma, to the point where academia was starting to be used as a tool of pharma, and there was a cascade of innovation. As the industry has changed, as there are pressures upon the pharmaceutical industry, some of that cascade has failed. So big pharma can't innovate at the pace that it used to. But biotech is hyper-focused on the assets that it is looking to develop from one stage to another, and the academics and the contract research organisations, again, are getting increasingly focused on individual assets as they move them forward. And what we are here to do is to help provide the grease, if you like, to get those individuals working around the table with one another to provide collaborative solutions. Not a solution for one sector, but a solution across the community. And they may be science, technology, process, and even innovation in financing to enable the vital fuel that makes this industry work to flow.
So you are providing financing, it's not just advice or pointing people in the right direction, there's financing as well?
Well, we provide resources, collaborative R&D resources through our own funding. That may be access to very scarce capital assets and access to individuals with discrete expertise. We're not here to compete with the contract research organisations. In fact, we're here to help them. But we're also able to channel some of the funding that's available through Innovate UK competitions directly into these areas of unmet need. We're targeting the gaps fundamentally and channeling that resource and funding.
So this is a government-funded initiative?
Yes, we're funded by Innovate UK, but we're also able to bring SMEs and other companies together to collaborate in bidding for competitions in Horizon 2020 with Innovate UK money and so on, to enable as much money to flow into this industry as we can.
And is this a new initiative, or has it been going a while yet?
So the Medicines Discovery Catapult started in earnest at the back end of 2016. We're now becoming operational, and we will start our first project in March of this year.
And I'll ask the big question, is there an impact of Brexit on what you're doing, or does this just happen anyway?
Well, the impact of Brexit is actually for the industry to recognise that change is now here, it's endemic. And we've got a responsibility in this country now to make sure that we retain our heritage position as the discoverer of 25% of the world's 100 top-selling medicines. That's an extraordinary statistic. And it's going to be maintained by making sure that we create exactly the right environment here in the UK to support the science, to sustain for the long term the biotech community, and generate the talent that we need in this country to make this a long-lasting heritage, not a heritage that we look back upon.
And the time horizons for all this great stuff going to happen? Is it going to be, what's your time horizon? Is it 5 years, 10 years?
So the Medicines Discovery Catapult is looking for its original narrative over 5 years. And we can see some really positive potential outcomes in terms of the financing that our work can help bring to the biotech partners we have, the assets that we can generate and then distribute out through the environment by licensing to help the rest of the community. And what we can also look to over that period is a stop in the decline of phase 1 being done here, and hopefully a really strong uptick in molecules that are making it towards fast to patient 2A.
So if we're sitting here in 5 years' time, we'll expect to see that 25% share of the top 100 drugs have grown to 30% maybe, or 40%.
Well, in an industry where it takes 6.5 years to go from idea to 2A today, what I would like to see is the feeling across the community that time is being compressed, that the efficiencies are being found, and that we've got the right models in place at an early stage preclinically to predict in a better way than we can today efficacy in man. A lot of molecules fail at that 2A stage, and many of them fail because we've done experiments in the preclinical stage that don't properly reflect humans, don't properly reflect that disease state. And I would hope that in the work that we will do over the next 5 or 6 years, we will challenge many of today's models and work to replace them with things that do reflect humans better. And we will do that by using patient cohorts that we find through the NHS. We will do that by engaging medical research charities at an early stage, putting patients first for the first time. Because I think the epithet here is that the answer is in the patient, not the publication. And the moment we focus on the patient, who is not only the source of our innovation, but also the consumer of the product, the better off we shall be.
Well, Chris, we'll look forward to seeing more patient centricity from all over the UK as we go forward in the coming years. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
For more information about PharmaVentures, visit our website.